Welcome. It's me, Hannah Crum, with two legends.
Okay, me, Steve. I
Steve.
interviewed
And Mad Cat.
And that cat.
This guy right here. Every time you score, he has to play this song for you every time, every single time.
David. He appears. I believe in Derek.
Let's go. Welcome to another Wednesday edition of The Musings. Plethora of soccer topics to talk about all around the world, but we're just going to keep it domestically for the most part this time around because we know it's an international break. There's a lot of international stuff going on. But first things first, though, let's talk about things domestically, especially within our own ecosystem, and that being the Jagermeister Cup that took place on Saturday night.
Yeah, I was busy watching the Tigers, but I did see the last 20 minutes of the Jaeger Cup, and let's start it right now with the USL review. Let's give their roses to the soccer version of the basketball team in the Fish That Day Pittsburgh, the Hartford Athletic.
What a story this team is. I mean, to be fair, I mean, you look at the fact that the way that they won this game, it was not the prettiest game. It was just a typical type of Brendan Burke game in which, Hartford did what they needed to do to win the game. In fact, goal scorer in that one, let's just say it. He came in the he came in the match last night. We'll talk about that earlier. Samuel Carriaga in the 51st minute got the goal.
Yes.
To propel Hartford to winning their first ever trophy in the history of the club. 1-0 victory over Sacramento Republic. The two teams go back at it again this Saturday night at Trinity Health Stadium. So, but Hartford coming away with the Jagermeister Cup victory. I gotta give them the roses. I mean, this is a team that Brendan Burke took over, which was pretty much the laughing stock of them and Loudoun United, and of course we know about the Loudoun United story. Under Ryan Martin. But credit to Brendan Burke and the talent he's brought in there, the coaching that he's done to keep these guys focused and on track. And right now, and we'll show highlights of last night's match in a minute. Right now, they're sitting in third place in the Eastern Conference as we speak.
You're right, tied for third place with Loudoun United with 41. And I made the analogy that the soccer team, I compare it with the fictional basketball team, the Pittsburgh Fish from the Fish that Pittsburgh
Pisces.
Yeah, because both teams were a laughing stock. Nobody want to go to their games except for the senior citizen, not pick on the senior citizen building and all that. And they were handed dead last position year after year. Since I followed the league
did they have the record for most points or the fewest points given?
Yeah. You're right. Well, they had before Miami FC last year, but then Brendan Burke somehow, not by astrology or anything else, don't want to compare a basketball astrology movie to a soccer team. Look what happened. They took off this season, beat everybody, literally being the last place under there, beat us at their place, at our place, the last place team, and all of a sudden, holy shirt.
Yeah, they're going to be one of them scary teams to think about come November when we get into the one and dones, because this is a team right now, if they can prove it in the Jagermeister Cup, they could most certainly well prove it in the USL playoffs coming up.
Here's the big question. Could they pull off upsets against the top two teams, the Battery FC and Louisville City?
I don't see why not. I really don't see why not, because this is a team that's, plays itself on grit. They have a good, Yeah, great goalkeeper and Anthony Siaha. I mean, this is a team that can make some waves this year, and I think that they could possibly screw up the pooch in the East and deny Louisville that second star or that third star once again.
You're right, or Charlottesville Battery first star. Who knows? They could tough out in the excuse me,
USL.
USL playoff.
Absolutely. Well, here's some highlights from last night's game.
All right.
Peter Wilson gets this assist here from Camden Riley, and that would put Oakland up by a score of 1-0 in the 31st minute. But typical of this team, they're coming. Joshua Ballou's off this header, which destroys the net. Literally destroys the net. Assist by Jack Paniatu, 58th minute. We're tied at 1 apiece. Then Kyle Edwards, Paniatu gives him the assist, gets the go-ahead goal. He's just been red hot. His 8th goal off the bench, most in USL history. And then, for insurance purposes, Beverly Macangilla, in stoppage time, does the job, and the victory goes to Hartford Athletic by a score of 3-1. What does this mean, folks? Let's take a look at those standings in the Eastern Conference right now. Hartford Athletic, there's no check mark there. Sitting in third spot with 41 points. Has a tiebreaker over North Carolina FC, also sitting at 41 points. We'll go into that in a little bit. London United sitting at 39, Pittsburgh at 37, Detroit at 35, Rhode Island at 34, Indy 11 sitting in the ninth spot at 32, and Tampa Bay at 30. And guess what?
I hate to say it, we're about to say the weakest link.
We have two of them.
Indeed, has said bye-bye. Miami FC. Miami FC. Last year, you were a wilted flower, failing to grow. But this year, I was hoping for success. You bloomed too early, but then wilted down in a sea of gray and red. Gray meaning draw, red meaning loss. And now, you're back in your position, sitting home, watching the playoffs. Unfortunately, with 24 points and 3 games left, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
And then another team that joined them as well. And, shall we add your obituary to them?
Yeah, Birmingham Legion, you thought you had a superstar duel hoping to beat up getting to the top half of the home playoff position, but unfortunately, it sort of looked like a hydroplane left off the Detroit River. Unfortunately, you had a superstar, couldn't get. You had to change of head chief, and unfortunately, you couldn't work. Unfortunately, the other superstar jetted off to Oakland, and unfortunately, that is wrong. That was done for you. It's sort of like pairing Dinah Girl with Harlequin from the Batman series. I'm sorry to say, with 27 points, with 2 games left, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. Give your own analogy of both 2
tough
games.
to be Mark Briggs right now, because I mean, you go from a club like Sacramento, you get hired by Birmingham. Saying gets axed after I think he was virtually like the only coach in Birmingham history, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And then they go in and they bring in Mark Briggs. He's figured to turn the tide, and they just couldn't seem to get going all year long. And that's been the problem always with, that's been the problem the last couple of years with the Birmingham Legion. They got the players to do it, but they just can't seem to get the ball going.
And they're playing at a too big stadium designed for the Birmingham Stallions.
It doesn't matter what stadium they play in. It really doesn't. It really matters of what you're bringing out onto the pitch on a daily basis. They have been a playoff team. They have been a playoff team in the past, but the regression of this club in the last couple of years is, I mean, I wouldn't say astounding, but I would say it's more disappointing.
Yeah. And by the way, let's get your analogy of Miami FC, also eliminated.
Great start by them this year, and I figured, this would probably be the year that this team could possibly, eke in top 8, whatever it is. I had them out as a playoff team regardless. But the thing is, with Miami, I think it was just too fast, too furious.
Too soon.
And too soon. Yes, too soon, because they fell off by the wayside once other clubs figured them out. I mean, we figured them out. We bopped them for 7 goals or whatever it was.
You're right. And they also had at one point the leader in the Golden Boot race, who still could win it. I can't remember his name offhand. You probably know.
Yeah, I'm gonna look him up real quick, but yeah, I mean, we forget his name because now they're pretty much irrelevant for the most part anymore, because this is just one club that has just been, I don't know, it's just been a downward spiral for them
I know, yeah.
And they're gonna go into Lynn Family Stadium in a couple days. Bonfiglio, 13 goals on the year. Yeah,
he could still win the Golden Boot, but on a last play non-qualifying team, oh brother.
Yeah, it's just that. I mean, they had some good players this year. The new coach, it definitely wasn't the Nocerino effect, because we saw the end result in that in Las Vegas. But
yeah.
Better squad this year, better coaching this year, but still same old Miami. At least they improved a little bit from what they were last year.
You're right. They were not treading water like they were last year. Yeah. From looking at the results, and you just mentioned the standing, they help out well. Loudoun lost, Pittsburgh lost, Indy lost, Tampa Bay climbing up. But you have to talk one game. I did see the game. Apparently, when I saw the game, it was a great victory for Royal NFC, a 3-1 victory. That was Sunday. But then on Monday, what happened, Matt Cat?
Well, as it turned out, I mean, still great victory by Rhode Island. Unfortunately, none of your goals are going to count, because it ended up being a 3-0 forfeit in favor of Rhode Island FC. Reason being, Las Vegas fielded an ineligible player in that match.
Because he was not in the lineup when they released the card and substitute and starting.
Exactly. 11. I'm going to go back. I'm going to try to figure this out through FOTMob. What happened there? Who got subbed in? It was trying to think, in the 50th, 38th or 58th minute. No.
It was 84th minute.
It was the 84th minute?
Yeah.
So,
and while you're
Mackenzie Gaines came in the match. He was not listed in the original lineup.
Yes, because like I said, when we were doing team news for the game...
Or was it Von Koval? I don't know. It was one of those two.
Yeah, when we were doing team lineups, because I remember they must be file an hour before game time. They check if these are players who are starting and these are subs.
Deletions are okay. Deletions are okay. Replacements are not. If you're not on the team sheet, you're not in the game.
Well, at least Las Vegas did admit on social media it was just an honest mistake. It was just like, oh, brother, the embarrassment and all that. They did lose the game 3-1. That doesn't matter because it didn't count. It just, oh, brother. This is the second time it have happened this year. One in League One with Spokane against somebody else. And like I said, just like
Westchester SC.
Yeah, just like what they do with high school athletics, like that. If you feel an ineligible player, the game you played or your entire season is cooked, literally.
in many things, though, I mean, being in the media business like we are, pseudo media, you know, um, how do I say it? Not pseudo media, but some type of media, uh,
Okay.
fringe media. We'll just say that because I mean, or you got to try to be as accurate as you can with everything. When it comes down to lineups, when it comes down to the action being done on the pitch and whatnot, you have to be accurate. And it's up to these sports media people or the media people within the clubs, the sports information directors and whatnot, to be as just as accurate as well. If you hang in the wrong lineup card in baseball, you could, that could result in. I'm just trying to think how that could. I can't remember how the end result would be. I think.
I
Well,
would think they would find them something.
well,
Could
if
happen.
if somebody bats out a turn, you're automatically out or something like that.
Yeah. Hmm.
So there's consequences for that. Same thing goes with soccer. You hand in that wrong lineup card, you find somebody that's on the bench that wasn't on that original lineup card. That's
Hmm.
consequential there too. And in both those cases, consequences had to be made.
And Las Vegas, who looked like it's going down the drain, they got burnt. And
Yeah.
they made a mistake, and they accepted, moved on.
Yep, and
But
a bad way to go in a playoff
yeah,
run itself.
as you probably know, they have to double check, make sure it's correct, hand it out to the referee, then hand it out to social media people, build up the graphic, and then we'll tell you who's who. And that's it.
Plain and simple, right there. You can't ask for
Plain
anything.
simple. By the
Yeah.
way, let's mention about the Western Conference. Tulsa still leading 6 points ahead of Sacramento, which, by the way, the title is down to 3 teams. Tulsa, Sacramento, and the Meow Wolf team, New Mexico United. The rest of it, like I said, changed week to week. El Paso, San Antonio, Lexington, Colorado Springs, Phoenix, Orange County, Monterey Bay, and Oakland and Las Vegas are almost out of it. And I'll add Monterey Bay too. They're almost out of it too. So,
Western Conference, the
pillow
Great
fight.
Western Conference pillow fight still going strong right now, as duly mentioned last week by Mike Watts, or duly christened by Mike Watts last week on USL All Access. So, speaking of the Western Conference, so there was supposed to be one team that was supposed to be joining the Western Conference.
Oh my God. Well, considering at this time last year, Anna Barbara announced that they were absorbing the soul of Memphis 901 FC. And they were going to start at a stadium near Santa Barbara College. But now it's been delayed until 2027.
Here's what the club has put out on social media on the USL website. From the beginning,
What
our
did
mission.
they say on social media?
Yeah,
Just read it.
basically. From the beginning, our mission at Santa Barbara Sky FC has been to create more than just a team. We're building a community organization that reflects on the rich soccer history, culture, and people of every corner of the 805. This is soccer country. Santa Barbara and the Central Coast deserve a club that matches the passion of this region and its fans. After careful evaluation, we decided that Santa Barbara Sky will not be kicking off next season as planned. This doesn't mean that we're slowing down. We're finalizing the ownership group and preparing for sanctioning, with plan to take the field in March of 2027. The additional time allows us to do this the right way and build a club ready to thrive. So basically, what's happening is stadium. They basically don't have all their ducks in a row. Plain and simple, don't have their ducks in a row. And you got to be that way in order to run a professional business. I don't care what level you're on in the pyramid. You have to be able to run a professional business. And right now they don't have their ducks in a row. They don't have their stadium set up. They don't have the staff set up. They're they're not, they're not in compliance with everything. They're doing this the slow way. And if you had a target date of 2025, that went by. You had a target date of 2026. That's now going by, and now you're going to have a target date of 2027. What does that mean? Are you going to delay again another year? Even now that you got the franchise rights of Memphis 901, because I feel that's a big slap in the face to Memphis soccer fans.
A big slap to the face of USL. I have heard it over and over again. Milwaukee, that's almost dead in the water. Brooklyn, will they be ready next year?
They'll be ready.
Yeah, they were supposed to enter the league in 2025, delayed in the year. Jacksonville, they're about to come in.
I think the women's side has a lot to do with that. So I mean that's they're coming. So they'll be here next year. Yeah. So that's not that's set in stone.
And I've seen so many markets that, well, we're going to have a USL team, but then either nothing happens or what? I don't know.
Well, credit, as I mentioned about Brooklyn, credit the Super League team, and also credit the Super League team down in Jacksonville as well, because those two clubs are supposed to be joining USL in 2026. Having that women's team be the women's Super League team being that forerunner to bringing those clubs in has been helpful for those clubs in helping them build the structure that they need to join the championship.
I agree. You know what I mean? And if I was USL, if I take an approach, I would say, are you serious to bring in a team to your committee like Des Moines, Iowa? I heard that been delayed. I don't know.
We've been hearing about Oklahoma City for years, too.
Oklahoma City, after they've been dormant because they played their stadium in a high school and they're trying to build a new stadium. It's just like either we do it or we don't do it.
Yep. If you don't do it right, I mean, USL could give you all the kudos in the world, but it's within your organization itself. USL can help you to a point, but you got to make the stride yourself into making that a sustainable club at that point, because they can only, the Papadakis can only give you so much.
Mm-hmm.
What you can do from that is how your club's going to be developed and how your club's going to grow. You got to be unlike MLS, where everything's a single entity and everybody pulls in the money together. There's not so much of that in the USL.
No.
And it's more based on those independent clubs. Say you got a team that's ready to go, you could go the same route. Now, why didn't Santa Barbara go the same route, say like Temecula FC, which we'll talk about even further later on, and go the League One route, or Fort Wayne, go the League One route, Cosmos, go the League One route, You got to crawl before you can walk.
Now, incidentally, Santa Barbara FC, they were supposed to come in 2025 with the League One team. But then when the ownership of Memphis 901, which was their minor league team, the Memphis Redbirds, which is a farm team of Louisville, not Louisville, St. Louis Cardinals, they said, okay, we're not going to get funding for a new stadium. We just give up. Hey, Santa Barbara, would you like to suck up the soul of that team and became your own identity? And said, okay, sure. But then if you have no plans, it's just like, what the hell?
Yeah, you can only be given so much. You can only be, like I said, the USL can only give you so much. Whether it be some owner that's going to come in and say, hey, I'm going to give you my franchise rights, or, the Papadakis family coming in and say, hey, we think this might be a good market for your league. What can we do to help? You got to be able to say, okay, great. You can take these little things. They're going to only do so much. What you do, as I mentioned, what you do going forward is how you're going to be perceived, throughout the league and throughout the soccer landscape as well.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Now, you mentioned a couple of teams. Let's talk about
Texoma.
Okay, what's the deal there?
Okay, well, I was going to segue into Texoma was going to play in the NISA Pro Cup, which we will be talking about later on in the, spoiler, we're going to talk about that later on because, well, ties there. But no, Texoma decided that they would skip out on the NISA Pro Cup and make a bid to join League One next season.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, USL gets back, or the USL actually grows even more, and of course, another professional team in the ranks, which is a good sign there. So, I mean, we wish them the best of luck, obviously, as they go through their ventures, and hopefully everything goes well for them, and they can be a sustainable club.
And I looked at where they are on the map. It's about southwest of Los Angeles in the Desert Valley, right?
Southwest of Los Angeles, pretty much in the middle between San Diego and Los Angeles, you would think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good on them, and and like I said, it's just another one. It's just another one of those things in which the league has got to, the club has got to do their own due diligence to make it work for them, make it work for that community. So, and I'm sure Temecula could do that. And like I said, I wish them the best of luck.
By the way, there's one more team that is not moving anywhere, and incidentally, in 2 weeks, we're going to see them at the season finale that could decide everything. Tampa Bay, because last week the team was sold, and there's an interesting tie-in, not with the team, but the team that owned them.
Yes, the Tampa Bay Rays group, of course, which oversees the Tampa Bay Rowdies themselves, got sold, and ambitions are trying to get a new stadium in the in that area, preferably in the St. Pete, area, where currently the Rowdies play right now at Al Lane Stadium. Now there have been talks about replacing Al Lane Stadium with a brand new baseball stadium itself, but there's also the thing is though with the Tampa Bay Rowdies, Al Lane's only an 8,000 seat stadium.
Oh, just like Hewart.
Yes, and they are having ambitions of trying to go Division One themselves.
Yeah, they haven't declared Division One yet.
Yeah, and most likely, with an ownership group like the one that's involved with the Rays being involved with that, and you see that as well with San Antonio FC having the San Antonio Spurs behind, backing with your ownership group. A lot of things can be done with with both of those clubs, especially when it comes down to infrastructure and stadiums and all that. Like I said, Tampa Bay's looking for a new stadium because they ain't playing in the Tropicana Dome. Even though there's been talks about they're redoing the dome and all that stuff. That facility, I think I don't think they're going to be able to play in it any much longer, personally. But
yeah, the Rays lease with Tropicana Field in St. Pete is up until 2028. And they had a deal to place a new stadium in St. Pete. That was before Hurricane Milton blew the roof off of it.
Absolutely, and of course it just
it's been chaos ever since.
It has been chaos ever since. They played at Steinbrenner Field this year. The Rays did. The Rowdies went back to LA after a brief delay, reopened that stadium. So, but here's the thing here. I mean, with the ambitions of going Division One, and you've got the team that is not affiliated with you building a 15,000 seat venue in Tampa. Don't you think that might be a little bit lucrative for the Rowdies to play there as well?
Yes.
I mean, you're filling one of the check marks right there with the 15,000 seat venue.
And that's for the USL Super League, the all-female women's league. Do you think, what if we bought the Tampa Bay Sun, the women's team, and decided, well, we'll play there if you want?
They can still be two separate entities. I mean, it's not like Lynn Family Stadium, where obviously Louisville City and Racing Louisville are basically intertwined, co-owned, even though they're in separate leagues. This could be a situation where both teams could use that stadium, and I mean, a lot of people would say conflict of interest, but you've got the USL headquarters right there. If you're going to build the USL headquarters right near there, wouldn't it be? I conflict of interest be damned. I would rather have two soccer teams in the same state playing in the same stadium, as opposed to, say, like one soccer team going to a baseball field, and then the other team, one team going to the baseball field, and the other one having their own stadium at a high school.
I could see. And I did mention in our pre-show meeting that conflict of interest. You have the USL women's team, you got the men's team, and the USL headquarters all in the same building. Is that kind of like a little conflict of interest?
It could be, I'm pretty sure the NASL and Warner Communications were in the same damn building in New York. And of course, Warner Communications originally owned the New York Cosmos.
I know. They printed money, Hanover Fitz, Warner Communication, when they owned Tardy. And by the way, there's a really good documentary about the New York Cosmos. I highly recommend it. Once in a lifetime, that delved the entire history of the New York Cosmos.
Fortunately, I think we're more stable now as far as the soccer thing goes in the United States as we were as compared to back in the 1970s when the NASL was around. I think we're more stable now and all that. We might be able to have two Division I leagues, for that matter. We might have a sustainable pyramid system within one of those ecosystems and all that, while the other one just goes merrily along as a single entity Ponzi scheme super league, buying up European contracts after guys reach 35 years of age. But I digress. Needless to no, but it's a lot more compared to what it was in the 1970s, where all these teams are buying these European superstars. Your George Best coming over, your Beckenbauers, your Rodney Marshes, your Trevor Francis's, all these players, Johan Cruyff. All these players, they were bankrolling these guys to come over here and play summer soccer here in the States. And then what happened after Pele retired?
Nothing. They couldn't find their new superstar.
Not only that, people weren't attending those games anymore.
I know. They went back to either football or the upstart football league. Remember the USFL? Not the current version, but the USFL, the original one.
Speaking of the current one, I've made my piece about that as well. And of course, RIP Michigan Panthers for now.
For now, yes. And if you saw the three new teams, including Louisville, guess where they're playing, which is called the Louisville Kings. Guess where they're playing their game?
Would it be at Lynn Family Stadium?
Yes, they're going to have a football field in a soccer pitch. Center Bank Stadium, they're going to have a football field for their local Rhode Island, University of Rhode Island. By the way, the Michigan Panthers did require about Alumni 5 Field, but it's not going to be ready until 2027.
Yeah, the UFL was in direct contact with Sean Mann and them.
And here's the big question. Will the league still be around by 2027 or 2020?
I think it will.
How so?
They got the big money. They got the Fox money coming in. They got the, obviously Redbird Capital's a big part of it as well. The Rock. Fully vested in that league. They're gonna be around for a while. It's a summer niche sport. I think it's a needed sport because it generates some talent into the NFL.
Jake Bates, one example.
Prime example. Guy almost kicked a 67-yard field goal in Baltimore.
Yeah.
How would that have been for karma?
Karma is a bitch, considering we incidentally been victimized by the longest field goal ever twice. The late
in my lifetime, I think.
I don't know.
I was going to say, when did that occur? That was in 1970. When did that occur? Right. Did that occur before November 20th?
Yes, and remember the field goals were in front of the goal line before they moved it back. And then we got hammered again at home against the same Baltimore team. Oh, by speaking of which, the CFL is trying to do the same thing recently with rule change, pushing the field goal from in front of the goal line to the back, trying to impersonate a predator. By the way,
CFL fans right now, God damn it, I don't want my Canadian game Americanized.
Oh,
Make
unfortunately.
again.
Oh, brother. By the way, speaking of which, there's one other team, not in the USL, but affiliated with a team we played in the winter, where we do soccer night in Detroit, indoor to the clubhouse. The indoor game, the defending champions in both the men's and women's MASL, Major Arena Soccer League, the Chihuahua Savage, poof, bye-bye.
Yeah, pretty much bye-bye. But, I mean, they're going to still continue operations, obviously. They're just going to go a different route, though. They left Major Arena Soccer League due to perceived and unfair last-minute decisions by the league, of which the team states hindered their activity for the upcoming season. Club Savage announced that decision to its fans on September 30th, 2025, citing with league rules, arena characteristics, and travel logistics that were not present at the start of their participation. What it means is MASL's changing, and they propose some guidelines, shall we say? Guidelines in which there's certain standards that clubs must uphold. Now, Chihuahua's got a 2,500 seat stadium. I remember watching the MASL final between them and the men's final between them and San Diego, and that stadium was packed. It was rocking, and grant you they have to change the specifications of the stadium, make the pitch acquire the league rules. I assume it's a smaller pitch that they're using over in Chihuahua. Compared to most in the professional league itself. I think there was one other club that has issues with that. I want to say in the Northeast.
I know. Well, as you probably know, most of the indoor soccer games that are played in America are in hockey rink-like side. They play in a regulation side hockey rink with turf and grass and glass bouncing off the boards and all that. So, and when we were doing prep, that was too small. Like, what do you mean? Like half of it, a little slightly.
I'd say the board. I mean, the configurations, like the size of the pitch, would be too small when you think about it. Compared to most other arenas. Now, San Diego won game one of that series or not the series, but they won game one, and then San Diego ended up, and then Chihuahua ended up taking game two. I think they also took the aggregate as well. I'm not sure how that, I can't remember how that worked out, to be honest with you. The final was held on CBS Golazo Network, I believe it was. They had a final, but there's a lot of other things that go into it as well. Infrastructure, TV deals and all that stuff. I mean, MASL has a TV deal basically with YouTube. You can watch, most of their games on YouTube. They want to, kind of get it within the league standards and all. And from what it sounds like, Chihuahua Savage wasn't within those league standards as far as that goes either.
So they just said, well, we're not going to be in those rules because we don't have a hockey side rink.
Yeah, and plus travel and logistics as well, too, because, I mean, the current climate that we're in right now, I'm sure Chihuahua would have been fine, to be honest. As far as, travel and all that stuff goes, but, it's just, like I said, it's,
I understand.
It really came down to, we're not complying with these things, and you're giving us, ample amount of time to clean this stuff up, too. And I don't think they were ready to clean that stuff up and make it proper in time for the new season. So basically, they just upped and left.
Yeah.
So no Chihuahua Savage on the men's side, no Chihuahua Savage on the women's side. Might be
And
a
I
little
really,
bit of an easy haul for Detroit City this year if they were going to take that
you know what,
time.
I agree with you. I saw the finals and they gave us I don't want to say a butt whooping, but it was a ringer watching or something like that.
It was like watching the South Park episode where the kids Pee Wee, where Stan's Pee Wee hockey team ended up coming out or playing out on the ice and took on Detroit.
Oh my, the Red Wings. Oh my.
Yeah. And the fans were chanting, "Let them play, let them play." Yeah, yeah, let them play. All right, let them get their ass kicked is what it amounted to.
I know. Oh,
It was not a pleasant match to watch or
I
even
know.
listen to for that matter. I
Yeah.
think I
And
heard
one
Iowa's
more
announcer
thing.
say Galazzo about 50 times that game.
You know what? I was about to bring that up. I was watching the game, and the announcer, who was Des Moines, the game was held in Des Moines, Iowa. They have said it over and over, like "Golazo." It was just like once is okay, 50 times or 60 or 30, too much. Do they
If he
even know
was calling the game last night on
how much?
if last night's game between Hartford and Oakland was on, say it was on the Galazzo Network, but why am I going back there? There we go. That's right. No, but if last night's game was on say like 2UDN
Yes.
and he would have called Bellus's goal in the 55th minute, that header,
Yeah.
the one that knocked off the netting, he would have called it the
Yeah.
Galazzo.
Oh my.
A header from inside the box.
Can you tell the people the proper term of the word golazo in soccer? Not the network, but the term.
I'm sure Ryan Williams could tell you that.
Okay.
Otherwise known as a banger.
A hard banger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Ryan Williams has had 2 Golazzos in his career with Detroit City FC.
I know.
So,
By the way, let's
Ates Juice, or no, no, not Ates Juice, but Les Joe, his Golazzo would be over the wall at Keyworth.
I know.
Just needless to say that there. So, but I mean, like I
No
said,
way.
best of luck to him. We'll see what happens going forward as far as the Chihuahua Savage goes.
Speaking of which, I did see the Open Cup finals. Let's give our roses to Nashville City FC. They won their title against Austin FC. Final score 2-1. Well deserved 19th date to win the U.S. Open Cup. And the first professional, well, I don't want to take professional.
First professional trophy in Nashville in Tennessee sports history.
Wow. And it's just an in-season cup, just like the Jagermeister Cup at Hartford.
Tennessee Titans came close, 1 yard short.
Yeah. I know.
1 yard short from getting a trophy back in '99. I want to say, I don't think the Grizzlies ever made it to the NBA Finals. I know they had
the closest they came was the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they've I don't think they've made it as far as the NBA Finals, to be honest with you. So I mean, but yeah, first major sports trophy, and it is a major sports trophy. I don't care what anybody says. It is a major sports trophy. Good numbers, good job by CBS Sports Network and Deb for doing everything during the getting the taking over the coverage of the Open Cup from the third round up. They did a fantastic job as far as that goes, and hopefully that continues on going into the next year. And
and incidentally, before you get to next year, I dropped off after almost every USLC team. We're all wiped out, except for one who made it to the next round, and they got wiped out. So I just saying, all right.
But still a good competition.
I did come back for the finals. Yeah,
it's still a good competition to follow. And speaking of next year, it's already here.
All right, because they don't do it like at the start of the year. They do local qualifying after
Yeah.
the ink been dried of this year's Open Cup.
Yep, and I believe I don't know. I want to say it's this weekend or if it's the next weekend. I wasn't sure on
I
that, but
think it's this weekend. Yes,
I
I
think it
checked
is
the
this.
schedule.
Yeah, because Detroit Metro SC travels down to Cleveland, Mentor, Ohio, to take on Croatia Cleveland. And
Oh,
they ended up getting the bye in the first round, so they reached the second round of qualified, and their journey begins there. Incidentally, though, it's right after their final home match of the year in Brighton on Saturday.
oh,
So it doesn't give them much time to prepare and get ready for it. But then again, this is what the Open Cup has been basically all about. I mean, these amateur teams that want to get in there and want to try for it and all that stuff. You got to pay your dues, man.
tell me about it. This is the setup for the regional qualifiers, which then lead to the road from
Yeah.
facing on every team like the NPSL and the I don't know
USL League One or League Two.
League Two and League One, and then us with the championship, and then all the winners face on ML. You know what I'm hoping for? The let's hope all the lower teams, including USLC, get a lot better after what happened this year.
Yeah,
Because
I would say so. I mean, that'd be tremendous. That'd be good. That'd be a good thing. Especially, it's nice when the lower leagues add spice to the competition and make their runs. I mean, we remember El Farolito,
yeah,
the darlings of your USL League One, but they're the darlings of the lower leagues, and they got honored. I believe it was. I don't know if it was at
at
halftime.
halftime as the highest ranking amateur team to reach the furthest.
Yep, exactly, and he just like like I mentioned. I mean, that's the true heart of the cup. There, another amateur team, Flint City Bucks, are joining the proper group for next
Proper.
year. Yeah,
What do
which
you mean
means
by
they'll be in the
proper?
first round. They'll be in the first round proper next
Oh,
year.
okay.
So it's great to see the Flint City Bucks in this thing next year. So, like I said, I mean it's and obviously Detroit City FC, obviously, automatically in because we're a professional team. We got to play in this thing. Unlike some MLS squads. But it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to shape out and how this format's going to be for next year. Because if you remember, this year it was different because when the USL Championship teams entered in the third round,
Oh.
the top four from each conference were guaranteed a home match.
Okay.
So they were guaranteed a home match, and I'm thinking they might do the same thing next year if they're going to keep the same status quo. Still allow 16 from MLS to come in, those that aren't participating in CONCACAF Champions League or Leagues Cup or whatever the hell that is. I mean, we already got three competitions going on at once in our league, so
Mini Cup, Open Cup, and our regular seasons. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, Open Cup, Jaeger Cup, regular season. Yeah, we got three competitions going ourselves. We're not complaining.
I'm going to say this again. It will never be a true U.S. Open Cup if we have all 27 U.S. based MLS teams. The three Canadian teams, they have their own championship, which was recently won by the Vancouver Whitecaps. But it will never be.
They competed in the CONCACAF Champions Cup and
Yes.
Leagues Cup.
And I'll say it again. It will never be a true U.S. Open Cup if we have the 27 U.S. based MLS team. Other than that, I'm going to call it what it is, the MLS Cup Fall Edition. Next to the MLS Summer Edition, which is League Cup and the regular.
Phase 1, Phase 1, Spring Edition. Phase 2, Phase 3, Fall Edition.
I know. Speaking of competition, we have to do one story and just tie in with a story you're going to tell. NISA, that league that will never die. I don't know why it's still there. They're about to do their Open Cup, and tell them where they're going to hold the NISA Cup.
Well, first off, the tournament. Oh God, it's a joke. It's a joke. I'm going to say that right now. First off, your hosts for this tournament aren't even involved in the tournament whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah, Michigan Stars are not involved in this tournament whatsoever.
You mean they're holding it in Romeo or they're
Yeah, Washington Township at the AI overview said Total Sports Park in Washington, Michigan. We all know damn well what that place is.
I haven't been to that place, to tell you the truth. You know what I mean?
The tilted pitch in Washington, the slanted pitch on Washington Township. I heard it slants to the right a little bit.
Oh, brother.
To the far right.
Oh, brother.
Let's just put it that way. But yeah, National Soccer Network's covering this one.
It's going to be on YouTube.
Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube, Roku TV, NISA Plus, all those on.
And we have our gripes with the National Soccer Network, literally.
Let's just put it that way. But yeah, let me. Well, okay, that was from March 24th. I'm just trying to see here, but on the social media, I believe it is. Stars were putting, or they were showing pictures of former Michigan, or of moments from the Michigan Stars who aren't even playing in this tournament.
Oh my!
I mean, it just doesn't make sense here. So I'm going to the Substack interview if I can. I don't know if I can yet. It's not showing. There, Josh Taylor announces that. There's a. Okay, there we go. So the key dates. So here are the teams that are listed for this week: Arkansas Wolves, Capo FC, DC Hyper, LA Force. Remember them?
Yeah.
Northern Colorado Hailstorm. Remember them?
Yeah, they were in League Two before a legal dispute kicked them out.
They were supposed to be the defending Jagermeister Cup champions.
And unfortunately, they were kicked out.
Yeah. Modesto FC, Sin City FC. It does list Temecula in there, but they're not in that. They replaced one more team. So I don't know who that 8th team's going to be. We shall find out soon, because I haven't heard anything from NISA about it.
I know.
So they have like 8 teams that are supposed to be competing in this soiree in Romeo, and I'm glad Neil Rule's not calling it. He'll be busy on those days doing Big D Energy.
Yeah,
not like he would go and cover a Stars game anyway.
I'm going to say he have a better job talking sports with D-Mac or whoever subbing or something like that. So
even Terry Foster, he does. Yeah, we rather have him on that, but it's like another last ditch effort from those people.
Brother, it's the league that will never die. For God's sake, they're not in the Open Cup anymore because they didn't have a sanctioned season. They're not. I don't know. It just.
I think Temecula FC left for the simple reason is like, okay, are you going to have that? Are you going to have that sanctioning next year? Is my club going to be able to compete in the Open Cup? Mm-hmm. And they probably had their doubts.
And then let's call Tampa. Ring, ring. We want to be in your league. What the best you got for us? League Two. Okay.
Like, you know what? It's like best I could do for you is League One. Which is fine, because it's a professional league and they're able to go to the Open Cup that way.
Yeah.
And they can start small.
I know.
So, basically that's what NISA was there for, to start small and make your way to the top. Well, a lot of those teams made their way to the top, of other leagues. I can't say Oakland Roots and Detroit City FC have made it to the top of the USL as of yet, but you know what I'm getting at.
I know what you're getting at. I know. Considering that when I'll tell you a little story. I learned that we were going to USL Championship, I was expecting it, but it's still a shocker. We gone from a crappy league to the best of the best.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I've been on this journey now. Today's my cityversary, by the way. And I mean, kind of the leeway into this. I mean, I've been on this journey with Detroit City FC for the last 6 years. I mean, it started off watching a game against Michigan Stars. At
How ironic.
How ironic, yes. As we go from talking about something going on at the Stars place over to uh, my dealings at Keyworth and around the soccer world. But I would never have, like I said, it's been a fun journey thus far. This is my 6 year. I mean, 6 years ago, a friend of mine went with me, and we said, "Why don't we just go down to Keyworth? Let's check it out. Let's check it out." First part of the match, we're sitting on the family side, watching and observing what was going on the other side. And then I asked my friend, "Would you like to go? Let's go check out the other side." Sure enough, we check out the other side. Didn't leave the supporter section. Bree didn't leave the supporter section after that until
Until,
until I got a media pass.
okay.
Until I got a media pass and started hanging out on the sidelines, and that was like midway through last year, and I just or I think I got a media pass by mistake either it was the year before. It was back in 23. I got a media pass then, and sure enough, got on the sidelines. Hung out with Garrett and Adam and all those guys over in the 10 area and all that stuff, watching games. And I was thinking, oh, this is pretty cool. So I got myself a media pass last year and had to, sat, and basically been on the sideline. So I've gone from like fence line to touch line
I know.
in the past
Being a
six
media
years.
professional, yeah. Well, I
I
will
mean, I've
say,
been, I was a curious fan to popping smoke bombs at the march. Got my own little mask kit. Uh, I don't know. Oh yeah, yeah. You can see it in the Zoom background. My own little mask kit. I think I got it signed by Alice Cooper, as a matter of fact. One of my masks from back in the day. But yeah, I mean, I had my the smoke demon mask, the whole thing, and all that stuff. Yelling at the players and all that stuff. And next thing I know, I'm interviewing players.
I know.
What a fun journey that's been.
I'll take too. It's been a weird, wild journey for me. I have been making friends for the rest of my life, from high school to the coffee house era to the music era and all that. Never expected I would be stuck. And actually, to tell you the truth, the first game I had a decision to sit in there near the press box or the away stand, and I did not know it was the supporter section. And I've been stuck there ever since because back then, when I was growing up watching sports on TV, everybody remembered the NASL. It used to be on ABC Sports with Jim McKay handling the play-by Caldwell. Never went to a game because it was in Pontiac, and I was young back then. Couldn't take the bus.
Same here.
Yeah. So, and I'm just saying, all right. So I have a lot of teams when, and this is kind of the weird analogy of all this. The formation of DCFC happened a week after the attempted conversion of the Pontiac Silverdome. Remember that?
Oh yes.
Yes, they were announcing they bought the Silverdome at a cheap price, under 700,000, and they were going to convert it into a soccer stadium. And we heard it. Then a week later, we heard about DCFC with the cool photo of playing soccer in Belle Isle. And that was typical. So I said, I went to the first game. And I said, all right, that should be cool, And I've been following the team ever since because I didn't follow the Detroit Express our old MASL team, and I decided this would be awesome to follow the team. I know, although it's small and all that, I have seen the growth firsthand. So I'm still following them. I have followed them near my backyard in Hamtramck at Cougar Stadium, and I'm going to probably follow them at Michigan 20th once they happen. Right now, they're promoting season tickets for the Keyword Farewell. So that's what I'm going to dub it now, the Keyword Farewell. So
The last farewell. There was a song by Roger Whittaker back in the day.
oh yes, Roger Whittaker. If you remember all those TV records, I'm so glad
They
they
used to
have.
be like that. They used to be like a station bumper for like WGN as well.
You're right. That is true. It was the station bumper for WGN when it was Super Station, seen all over the country. You can find that on YouTube. Yes. Da, 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 da. I got to see one.
My creative mind's flowing.
I know, but yeah, back to the last farewell connected to Keyword Stadium since this is the last farewell.
Yes, indeed it will be, and I think we're going to do a lot more going forward as far as that goes. I want to try to get some insight on some like the greatest games in Keyworth history. You know, like obviously the 451 game being one of them. Monty with the right foot.
Of course.
Connor Rutt's bicycle kick, the NISA championship. You know, all those great moments that we've had over the years. That's probably one I want to get into. You know, that's going next year.
Next year, yeah. So, well, I'll give you my perspective on it because
Absolutely, and
I
hope to get some people on that as well. You know, maybe talk to a couple of the players that have been here for a while, like the Connor Rutzes and the Stephen Carrolls and whatnot. You know, about their experiences of some great moments in Detroit City SC history.
I know.
I think was Carroll part of Monty with the right foot?
I think he was with Monday with the Fright Foot. I think so. Yes.
Yeah, because I think he was. Yeah, it was. I mean, like his first game at the stadium was probably like right around the time Keyworth's first game or Detroit City's first game at Keyworth was. If not, it might have been the second year or whatever it was.
Yeah, and who knows if we're lucky if we request Ben Perriman for Charlottesville, we'll talk about his Keyword memories. Maybe.
Oh, I would love to talk with that. I had a brief conversation with him after Charleston played here a couple years ago, or a couple months back, and had a brief conversation with him and all that stuff. Nice guy, really nice to talk to. Very, very approachable man. So hopefully, maybe get something going. That'd be cool.
And by the way, great coach. By the way, I just want to say, great coach. What he done.
I wonder why he has. I'm surprised he has not gotten. He's like the Dan Campbell of the USL.
I agree.
Because he's done so much with so little, turn that thing around, and he's not getting recognized for it.
I understand. It's just.
Yep. All right. Well, we got all of nostalgic there for a little bit there, but.
Yeah, but we're going to have more nostalgia coming up this Saturday. Last home game of the season 2025. The next to the last home season. And, oh, by the way, speaking of memories, this is almost my first year anniversary doing soccer night with you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's been a fun ride talking.
Yes, it has.
I'm a good talker. I know you're a good talker. I talk a lot, but sometimes I try not to.
But you know what? I mean, I think it's good chemistry, and it's great to have you as a partner on this because we kind of need that. They all say we all need a little help from our friends. Yeah, Ringo said that, and I'll tell you what. I mean, this has been a joy and honor and a privilege to do this with you. And like I said, I mean, it's been definitely been a fun ride, and definitely keeping on, and we're getting better, or we're getting stronger and stronger as we go.
I know. This is sort of like the soccer conversation video of Burt Reynolds and Dom DeValise in the original Cannonball Run. The first one was good. Don't look at the second one. It was just, brother.
Captain Chaos!
I'm not Captain Chaos, but I'm wearing my Rush T-shirt with the word
Oh
that
my God. I
the
would
two
kill to go to
surviving
Cleveland to
members are
see him.
going to go back.
I would kill the club, go to Cleveland to see him.
Me too. Considering I put Slater, Kinney, the Ramones, and Rush all
Yeah,
my age here.
I would kill to go. I don't care. I don't care who's drum. I mean, I would trust me. I would miss Neil Peart, one of the greatest drummers in the. If there's a Canadian hierarchy of dead musicians, he'd be right up there with Gordon Lightfoot and Gordon Downey.
Wow.
That's some
Wow.
hierarchy right there.
I put him in the same hierarchy at Neil Peart among drummers next to Janet White of my other favorite band, Slater Kinney.
Uh-huh. Neil
Well,
Peart. Neil
let's
Peart's a
wrap this
god.
up. I'll see you on Saturday. Last home game of the season, next to last one at Keyword Stadium.
And that's gonna be like I say, a very pivotal Saturday. I would say it's gonna be, how we say, moving day. Could be moving day.
Yeah,
We're gonna go over four key matchups on that day. I think one of them we just threw out the window because obviously Miami FC's taking on Louisville and Miami FC's eliminated. But there's four other matchups that are gonna be very prominent on that day. One's gonna be happening right at the same time as us. The other one's going to be happening right around 7 o'clock after we're done.
I know. And we all will rush to ESPN app to watch the madness. What do you
Yeah,
say?
it's going to be a wild Saturday. It's going to be a wild Saturday night in the Eastern Conference. That's for sure.
And also, don't forget, after the match, we'll gather and reward the Black Arrow MVP.
Yeah, we're going to hope to talk with the Black Arrow Award winner after
knock
the
on wood.
match. Yeah,
Knock on wood.
Yeah, we'll have a one-on-one conversation with the Black Arrow winner after the match on Saturday for after hours. So that'd be great there. Other than that, that's what we got going for Saturday. Make sure you like, subscribe, the whole 9 yards. Comment on these videos if you like. We'll come back and answer a question for you if we can. As far as that goes, follow us on Discord as well. Faithful for Detroit City. You can go there. We've also posted the episodes on there as well, so that way you know what we're doing and all that stuff. But yeah, most of all, like and follow and subscribe and all that fun stuff helps the algorithm out tremendously. So,
and I hope it will be good at Comerica today as we recording this show, because if it's not,
then it's I'm hunting for Swifties on Sunday night.
Yeah, Sunday night. I know. All right.
My feeling is on that game, Dan Campbell needs to make it so that Taylor Swift has to write a song about him.
Probably so.
That's my analysis of that one.
Okay.
All righty, Steve. We'll see you on Saturday.
I will see you on Saturday. Be kind to each other. I'll see you on Saturday for Soccer Night pre and after hours.
And like I said, I will see you on Saturday as well. Until then, folks, keep your feet on the ground. Keep reaching for the galaxy.